Okay, so I wasn't going to make any more Excel videos, but I kept getting email questions on some more Excel stuff, so figured I'd make one or two more. So this was a question that came through quite often, and it was, Jim, how do I format my workbook? I want it to look nice. I don't want it to look like you had it. So let's go through that. Right now, what you can see here is just a standard workbook. I called it fruit inventory, and you're happy to copy paste this. So if you want to pause the video now and copy this stuff over into your own workbook, please feel free to do so, and then just follow along. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make all the columns kind of the width that they should be. So you're going to highlight everything, and then you can do two things. You can double click here, or you can do Alt OCA, which will essentially make the columns as wide as their widest entry. So you can see here strawberry is the widest, so it's the same with the strawberry. Quantity is the widest here, etc., etc. Another thing that I like to do is if the words are too big for the data that's in the column, I like to kind of manually just make it smaller. But you see when you do that, it doesn't really change the heading. So what you need to do is you click on the cell and you click wrap text. And now when we close it, oh no. Well, this is an older version of Excel. When you close it, you can see the text is actually getting wrapped. And so what we're going to do is make this bigger so we can see it. Perfect. Okay. All right, so we centered we did all the column widths first. The next thing I want to do is I want to add a column to the left here. So Alt-IC from the previous videos you guys saw, and we'll make this small. And we'll do Alt-IR to do a row. So now our data is kind of just like better positioned, you know, that it looks nicer. All right, next up, we're gonna center and format all the data. So headers, I generally like to have them centered. You can see here, middle aligned, and I also like to have them centered. So that generally looks nice. And when it comes to data, you're gonna have to kind of use your best judgment. Words are almost always left aligned. Numbers are generally either right aligned or in the center, like that. And then single letters like this are generally center aligned. So I'll do something like this to just show all the differences. And you can see here where we have the quantity is center aligned, the customer rating center aligned, the text here will all be left aligned, the text here will all be left aligned, and the cost will be right aligned. Okay, so now that we've centered the headers and we've centered all the data the way that we'd like it, let's do some formatting. So all these look pretty good for formatting except for the cost. Now there's a few tricks you can do here. One of the tricks is just going up here and clicking the accounting number, and you could just click it, and what it will do, and I'll make this bigger, is it will put a dollar sign in front, and it will right align everything. And you can see the only problem is the dollar sign is all the way on the left. So if you're okay with that, cool, you're done. If you're not okay with that, what you want to do is let's do some custom formatting here. And I don't generally do this, but I think it's good to just show you guys. So you can go to custom, and what we could do is we can go to number or accounting. Let's do accounting. Like we have here. And then you can choose the symbol, and then you can choose the decimal places. So we essentially did the same thing we had before, but we went through the custom section. And the reason I'm showing you that is because there's a lot of options in here. So for example, if you just wanted it to be a number, you can change the decimal places. Or if you wanted to have your own custom field and make it look a certain way, like this for example, you know, you can do that. So it kind of depends on your preference. If you want more decimal places, you can do it like that. So if you want the dollar sign to be up against the number or up against the column, either way. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is colors and then grid lines, and then I think we should be good. So this is all up to personal preference. I generally like to have the headers be darker colored, right? So maybe dark blue is nice. And then I like the text to be white. This is just personal preference. And maybe that's a little too dark for YouTube here. Yeah, maybe something like this. And then I like the rows to be alternating colors, which makes it easier on the eyes. So what you can do is you can go to the row, and you can just click this color, for example, and then you can go to this row. You can do that color, right, etc. Or if you remember the copy trick, we can just copy this and then just copy formats. Alt-E-S-T. Cool. So this is looking much better. The only thing now we have left to do is add grid lines. So we will go to the top, view, grid lines. We uncheck that. And then we're going to add our own borders. So usually this is okay. Some people enjoy having the borders on the outside, something like that. I generally don't put lines across because we color coded them, but if you want lines in the middle, what we could do is something like this, and you'll go to more border styles. And let's pick something nice. Let's pick a light dotted line, and we'll make the color maybe a gray or a black, maybe black, maybe dark gray. You click that in the middle there. Okay. It's a little too light. Let's go do it again. Here we go. Let's make it black. And we'll do like a dotted line. Okay, so, oh, I didn't get this last one here. Oh, my mistake. But this is an example. So let's go back. I forget which one I picked. Oh, we're going to find out. Alright, close enough. So I don't like to have lines in the data. You could probably see why. It's sometimes distracting. And if you ever do have lines in your data, you can just go to where I showed you into borders and just click right here and take them out. There is one or two other final things I can show you guys that will help. Generally, you want to have something like a thick bottom border here, which makes it look a tiny bit better. And if you're going to deliver this to someone, you might also want to have all the stuff at the top hidden. And to do that, you just double click the ribbon. So ribbon's gone. And this is what you'll be left with. So you can send this to somebody and they can look at it and they say, oh, this looks nice. It's easy to read. No challenges. So I hope this was helpful for everyone. Again, if you guys have additional Excel questions, I'm happy to solve them. Feel free to email them or shoot them on the YouTube in the comments. Thanks.